Macronutrients. Fats.
Let's move on to fats.
These days, fat gets a bad rap. I said bad rap, not bad rapper. Let's get some perspective on fat and see if we can clear up its bad reputation.
As you may have guessed by now, we need fat in our diets. It's true.
Let's get started. First, let's talk about 3 basic functions fats perform for your body.
First of all, fats serve as a continuing source of energy for your body. That means the body is able to take the fat it gets from a meal and store it for later use. If the body needs some fuel between meals or during a period of increased activity, it can draw on the energy it has accumulated from fat. So, as far as fuel goes, fats give you a lot of mileage.
Fats provide 9 calories of energy per gram, as compared to carbs, which provide 4 calories of energy per gram. So when your energy from carbs burns out, fats keep you going because fats provide more calories to burn.
Second, fats provide essential nutrients to the body in the form of fatty acids, as well as the fat-soluble vitamins A, E, D, and K.
You may be wondering, what in the world is a fatty acid? Basically, fatty acids are the fuel your body gets from fats, just like glucose is the fuel your body gets from carbs. Want to see what they look like?
Fatty acids are the structural components of fat. They're basically organic acids made of these long hydrocarbon chains. A hydrocarbon chain is just a chain made of hydrogen and carbon atoms. Each chain has a carboxyl group at the end.
The human body can make all but 2 fatty acids, linoleic acid and alpha-linolenic acid, also known as omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids. That makes these fatty acids essential fatty acids, since the body cannot survive without them, and the only way to get them is from food.
What kinds of foods, you may be wondering? Most vegetable seed oils, plant greens, and fish oil will provide us with these essential fatty acids.
Which brings us to the third things fats do for us. Fats give our food compelling flavor and texture. They do this by actually carrying the flavor of other ingredients, ensuring a yummy, delicious eating experience.
Maybe that doesn't sound so important, but think about it. Evolutionarily, it makes sense for food that nourishes us to be satisfying. Otherwise, how would cavemen have known to eat it?
Satisfaction is important because it leads us to crumple up our napkins, lick our fingers, and stop eating when we've had enough. Fat also helps to keep us full for longer periods than carbs do. Healthy recommendations are to keep fat less than 30% of total calories.
Say, what's the deal with those different types of fat that you see on nutrition labels?
You know, saturated and polyunsaturated and all that mumbo jumbo. Ah? Is this mic on? Ah!
Great question. That's a very important topic, and it's got everything to do with the fatty acids.
Basically, there are 2 types of fatty acids, saturated and unsaturated. If a fatty acid is saturated, all that means is that, on the molecular level, it has as many hydrogen atoms as it can contain.
Can you guess what it means for a fatty acid to be unsaturated?
Why, yes, I can. It means
Unsaturated fatty acids are missing 1 or 2 hydrogen atoms, so they're not fully hydrogenated. Unsaturated fats can either be monounsaturated or polyunsaturated. Duh.
So where are these different types of fats found in food?
Well, I'll tell you. Saturated
Saturated fats mostly come from meat fats like lard and dairy products like butter. Unsaturated fats come from plant fats like oils.
What is it with that guy?
Unsaturated fats do a lot for the body and can actually be good for the heart.
Now, I know we said that nothing is inherently good or bad in nutrition, but let's get real here. When it comes to kinds of fats, the unsaturated ones are totally the good guys. The saturated fats are sketchy characters.
In particular, one type of polyunsaturated fat, the omega-3 fatty acid, is believed to be ultra beneficial for the heart. Omega-3s help the heart beat steadily, lower blood pressure, decrease blood clotting, and reduce inflammation in the body.
One great source of omega-3 fats is fish. Other sources are walnuts and flax seeds.
Now let's get to the bad guys. Saturated fats are not so good. In general, you can tell a saturated fat by its hardness, like butter or steak fat. You can see why they tend to clog the arteries and can lead to heart disease. Unsaturated fats, on the other hand, are usually liquid, like vegetable oils.
Basically, the story about fats is not that you should avoid eating them, but that you should choose the unsaturated kind over the saturated kind. Recent studies have even shown that these good fats can help prevent heart disease and even some cancers.
So fats aren't all bad. You just have to know how to choose them. It's like shopping at a thrift store. Go for the lightly worn designer jeans, not the smelly purple boots with a stain on them.
However, there is one type of fat that you should avoid like the plague. It's called trans fat.
What's that?
Bad news, that's what.
Trans fat was invented by some mad food scientists in the late 19th century who thought it would be a good idea to hydrogenate vegetable oils, basically turning a liquid fat into a solid fat.
That's how margarine was invented.
For a good part of the 20th century, health professionals told the world that trans fat was healthier than saturated fats. But guess what? They're worse, much worse. In fact, trans fats are the only types of fats that have been linked with hard evidence to coronary heart disease.
This trans fat story brings us to an important general nutrition tip. Choose foods that come as they are found in nature over those that have been created or processed in a laboratory.
And now the last stop on our fat tour, cholesterol.
Cholesterol is another thing that is often misunderstood. Is it good? Is it bad? What is it?
Cholesterol is a fat-like substance found in the cells of animals. Your body needs cholesterol. It is important in digestion and in the structure of cell membranes. Cholesterol is so important to the body that your body already makes all of the cholesterol it needs.
Cholesterol is also found in food. Specifically, it's found in animal food products.
There are two types of blood cholesterol, LDL and HDL. LDL, the bad kind, accumulates in the bloodstream and can lead to clogged arteries, which can cause heart attack and stroke. HDL, the good kind, helps clear away the artery clogging LDL.
The types of food you eat, as well as your genetics, influence how much of LDL and HDL cholesterol you have in your bloodstream. One key way of keeping your LDL cholesterol levels low is to avoid saturated and trans fats. You know, the bad fats.